political experts, including those who have closely followed the history of insecurity in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, argue that the crisis has deep roots in colonial history. They believe that the military approach chosen by the Congolese government will not yield results, as they are fighting against their own citizens who have nowhere else to go. Serge Nore unpacks the story.
For over 60 years, the residents of the Eastern DRC have faced various challenges, including massacres that have forced many to flee to neighboring countries. The late Tanzanian President Julius Nyerere once spoke about the issue of Kinyarwanda-speaking communities in the Eastern DRC.
So when we say respect that border, which was agreed between the Germans and the Belgians, we must also be saying respect the people whom you received under that partition. You can't turn around and say, we no longer want you. You are no longer citizens of our country. What are you going to do? Are you going to return them alone, or you return them with the piece of land? You can't say, go home. Home where?
Former South African President Thabo Mbeki has also emphasized that the continuous wars in the Eastern DRC are deeply rooted in history and that the government in that country continues to ignore the truth.
Is that there's a problem in the Congo which has not been resolved up to today. I'm talking about the DRC. As you know, part of the population in the Eastern Congo is Rwanda speaking. Part of the problem in the Congo is that they might be Rwanda speaking, but these are Congolese. And it's the responsibility of any government in Kinshasa to look after this section of the Congolese population like any other.
The current situation, analysts say, is a consequence of decisions made by the President of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Felix Tshisekedi. Political analyst Andrew Mwenda explains.
The current situation in the Eastern DRC is a direct result of the failure of President Felix Tshisekedi of the Congo to implement a series of peace agreements and commitments he has personally signed, A, with M23, B, with the East African community, C, Congo had already signed with the ICGRC, that is the International Conference on the Great Lakes Region, and of course, the decisions made through the Rwanda process, where Rwanda and the Congo have been in negotiations using the good offices Lorenco Angola. Now, the M23 have been looking for a way to have a peace agreement they signed with the government of Tshisekedi implemented. Tshisekedi has said he will not talk to them and he will seek a military solution to this conflict. Now, in pursuit of that military solution is where we are at. So had he agreed with the South African leaders, the leaders of the International Conference on the Great Lakes Region, or with President Lorenco of Angola, to have a peaceful process through which this matter could be resolved, there would be no war in Eastern DRC.
Kenyan activist and lawyer Patrick Otieno Lumumba argues that the only solution to the crisis in the Eastern DRC is dialogue with the M23 rebel group.
The argument, for example, that comes from the Kinshasa administration that they cannot have a face-to-face meeting with M23 is without merit, because it is the M23 who are on the ground, and they are an organized force with a clear chain of command.
Political experts agree that negotiations between the Congolese government and M23 are the only viable path to a lasting solution to the insecurity in the Eastern DRC.